Lesson 4. Scholars, I kind of miss you. It's true. Teaching is not as fulfilling when it's digital learning. I mean, it's nice that it's chill. It's a lot more chill digitally, but you know what I mean. Anyway, as I'm sure you've noticed, I don't really like doing Google Meets because I feel like we waste a lot of time just with connection issues and taking attendance, and it's just so much faster to take attendance this way, and then you have more time to get work done. And then, which means more time to potentially have a break if you finish your work early. You know what I mean? But I miss actually seeing you. Anyway, lesson 4, we're getting crazy. We're doing chapter 3 and chapter 4. Why? Because it just feels better to have lesson 5, chapter 5, lesson 6, chapter 6. So we're sort of catching up with the lesson numbers. So you're completing attendance part 1 as I speak. Attendance part 2 is the audiobook for chapters 3 and 4, an ed puzzle also. And then this part 3, it's optional this lesson. It still has to be done by the end of next lesson, but I didn't want to make it obligatory now in case doing 2 chapters of vocab and 2 chapters of reading takes you too long. But please do these questions today if you're finished with parts 1 and 2. Then you won't have to worry about it next lesson. Capiche? Without further ado, let's go into chapter 3 vocab. Chapter 3. Jot these down in the vocab section of your notebook. Push pause every time you need, every time you don't know the word, so that you can write it down, because that helps you study. Batty. Absolutely batty. Or batty, if you're American. Crazy. I never say the word batty. Maybe I should. I should say it more often. It's a good word. Next, rap. If you're rapping on the door or the window, you're knocking on it. Although it is also what these guys do. If you're a rapper. Or if you add a W, then you're maybe wrapping a present. Or it's a wrap. You're eating a wrap. So many wraps. Hoax. It's a hoax. It's a trick. Don't believe them. Hoax. Spiteful. You maybe know some spiteful people. People who are just mean and hateful. And if they think you've done them wrong, they're like, want to get back at you. Groping. In the book, it's like feeling about in the dark. You can't see, so you're trying to feel your way. To grope is also a word for like clumsy touching with kind of like a sexual connotation with no consent. If someone gropes you, it's like they're grabbing your booty or something. If someone grabs your booty, be like, stop me, krop. Slap him in the face. Yes, I encourage violence in this case, if you're standing up for yourself. Anyway, in the book, it's just like reaching around in the dark. Sulking. If someone is sulking, they're pouting or giving you the silent treatment. This is something to watch out for, to be honest, in potential partners. If you have a lover who sulks instead of communicating, it can actually be manipulative. If they like expect you to see what's wrong and ask them, oh, are you okay? Instead of using their words, it can be manipulative. I mean, there's a difference between that and just like you noticing that your friend feels bad and asking them. That's nice. Yeah, watch out for sulkers. It indicates emotional immaturity. Sledge. That would be a sled or a sleigh. I never use the word sledge as an American. I'm not sure if it's more of a British thing. This is a sled. Whee! This is a sleigh. This is the sleigh of the White Witch in the newer movie. I suppose a sledge would just be anything that slides along the snow with 2 runners. Shetland pony is a type of small, strong horse from the Shetland Isles, northern Scotland. Looks like this. So cute. Gilded. Covered with a thin layer of gold. Might be a gilded frame, like this, or a gilded mirror or something. If someone is gilding something with a brush, it means they've mixed the gold in various chemicals and ether, and it dissolves into that, and then you can paint it. Usually, however, they would buy gold leaf. So gold that is hammered so thin it's like paper, and then is stuck onto a surface with adhesive. So it looks like a gold object, but is much cheaper. Still beautiful. Pray. I'm sure you know what it means, like to pray like that, but an older meaning of the word pray is like, please, ladies and gentlemen, pray be seated. It's like, please be seated. My mom said that to my brothers and me if we were doing something naughty. She'd be like, what are you doing, pray tell? Please tell. If you switch it to an E, it would be the prey. So the cheetah, in this case, would be the hunter, and the rabbit would be the prey. So that's another meaning. Pronounced the same, spelled differently. Here are some expressions. Sneered and jeered is to, or teased unkindly and made fun of. So a sneer is like a cruel kind of smile, and jeering is making fun of someone. Make it pax. To make peace or to make up / make up. I've never said make it pax in my life, but it makes sense. Pax is Latin for peace. In the book, it just means, oh, come on, make up now, guys. Get over yourselves. Conflict is done. Take a moment to study. Now let's move on to chapter 4. Chapter 4. Remember to pause every time you need to write something down or study. Daughter of Eve, son of Adam. We already kind of talked about this. It's a human girl or boy. It's from the Judeo-Christian creation myth of Adam and Eve being the first humans. And they were in the Garden of Eden, this paradise where they were eventually cast out because they sinned. So any human in the Narnia books would be considered daughters or sons of Eve / Adam. Dominions, lands under the rule of a queen or king. So for example, by the time Ms. Carlson reached age 40, her dominions stretched from Norway to Finland. That's my goal. I'm going to take over Scandinavia. Mantle. Large cloak. I don't use the word mantle. I would use the word cloak. Mantle is a bit older and more obscure. Looks like these are some different mantles / cloaks. It's also layers of the Earth's crust. So just as a mantle covers your shoulders, the mantle of the Earth covers the Earth's core. But in this book, it's referring to this. Turkish Delight. It's a candy similar to gummy bears. It looks like this. Although when I've had Turkish Delight, it's always had pistachios. It's kind of good. It's kind of chewy. It's a little too sweet for me. Courtiers. So courtiers would be people who attend a royal court as companions or advisors to the queen or king. A lot of rich people may be friends of the queen king, but they might also just be like secretaries or clerks in the court who write down what happens, or even the cupbearer who makes sure the wine of the king is not poisoned. That would be a courtier. Oh, yeah, might look like that. Now, nobles would be aristocrats. A lot of courtiers were nobles, or a lot of nobles were courtiers, but not all courtiers were nobles. Because, like I said, some of the courtiers might just have been clerks who had an appointment in the court, who had a job there. Snappish. I don't use this word, but it's cute. I like this word. If you say something snappishly, you're saying it in a bad-tempered way, impatiently. Oh, shut up, she said snappishly. Snappish. Flushed. Red-skinned because of embarrassment or excitement or anger. But it can also be like rosy, or you're blushing. She has a flushed face. She is blushing. When I was a kid, I used to blush all the time. I got flushed easily, like after PE class. Oh. Or if I was embarrassed, I used to get embarrassed easily. So I would always be flushed. I was so jealous of my dark-skinned friends because they didn't get flushed. Okay, I think it's only one expression. Yes, poor sport. If you're a poor sport, you get angry easily if you lose. You're like, too competitive or no fun, or maybe you cheat. Don't be a poor sport or a bad sport. All right, take a moment to study. Moving on. Okay, back to my website. Just a reminder before I let you move on to attendance part 2. You may notice that these vocab videos are kind of fast, and I'm not checking to see if you're writing down the vocab or if you're studying yet. But you're only hurting yourself if you don't sort of keep up with writing down and then studying the vocab words. Just a word to the wise, because you will have little quizzes and tests on the vocab in the future. And you won't have to study later if you take the time to do that now. And I'm giving you less work than it takes to do in an hour, so you might as well keep up on that. All right, people. Good luck with the rest of the lesson, the chapter and the chapters and the comprehension questions. And please email me if you have questions. Bye!